What's up guys, Drew here. Welcome back to Starting Out Solitary. It's week 263 and this week we are discussing scrying. So basically, do we scry, and if so, how? I do scry, though it's not my go-to and I don't do it all the time. I've tried many methods. I actually am friends with a witch who is all about scrying. It's her go-to. So I have tried many ways. One of my favorites is with red wine. I really enjoy scrying in red wine and then drinking it afterward. And fire scrying. I love fire scrying. Get fire, and then really it's the embers that I scry in. So wait till the embers are all bright and glowing and the fire's kind of died down and they're, it's pulsing in different colors and whatever. I also crystal scry. I have a scrying ball. I have a crystal ball that I can use and lots of other things. I do not have a black mirror because, again, scrying is not something that I jump to, but I actually do want to make one and have one, a small one. I enjoy scrying. I don't typically see a lot when I scry, though. Every once in a while I'll get flashes of images, but honestly, I get other sensations. I will have smells and I hear things all the time. One time I heard children singing Ring Around the Roses, and I heard a woman crying, and I automatically just got all this impulse information and did have a couple flashes of, a scene or whatever, but I hear clairaudience kind of thing going on a lot more with scrying than actually seeing something or just getting like information dropped in. It's usually a combination of the three, but it almost always starts with some audible thing. I hear something, and then it sort of paints a picture for me. I'm assuming everyone understands what scrying is. But essentially you have a focal point. It's usually water or, like I said, fire, a candle flame, crystal. A reflective surface is usually what is used. And you just sort of put yourself in almost a trance-like state and kind of soften your gaze so that you're you're not focused on anything, and information comes through in one form or another. I actually compare the way that I read cards to scrying more than like a system like tarot. I use the cards, and by the images and whatnot, I don't know, I'm scrying. Like, I'm not getting into a necessarily trance-like state, but I'm opening myself up to my intuition and guidance, and based on the images and the energy of the individual I'm reading for, or myself or whatever, I get this information, and it isn't necessarily tied to any meaning that might be attributed with the card, though sometimes it is. So I think that scrying is something that can be applied to many vessels. Like, it's, again, I like to fire scry. I like to scry in wine. I have used crystals. I use cards. So I think that there are many ways to go about scrying. If it's something you've never tried, it's definitely worth a try. And you may have to try a few times before you get the hang of it, just because it is sort of this trance-like thing. Smoke scrying is another one. I know a witch who uses rope incense in particular to do smoke scrying. There's all kinds of ways that you could do scrying. I guess that's all I have to share on scrying. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and until next time, much love and gratitude.